Hey, true believers, Englentine here with another comic book showdown. This is where I put Marvel versus DC versus independent comics. And what I do is, I've read them all. And I'm going to give you a little short review. That way you get an idea. Was it good? Was it bad? And why I thought so. I do rate them. 1 star is horrible. 2 star is bad. 3 star is average. 4 star is good. And 5 star excellent. And then I put them in order. So what you're going to see right off the bat is the worst comic book I read this time around, and then it's going to end with the best comic book I read this time around. And that's it, man. I mean, those are the rules. Now, I'm going to get back to the Marvel versus DC versus Independents where I'm actually scoring them. I'm going to get back to that probably next week. I wanted to this week. It didn't work out. But that being said, let's kick back, relax, and get this party started. The 1-star books are horrible and should be avoided at all cost. Giant Size Storm #1, man. I got this because of the Alex Ross thing. I got the cover, and okay, so I had to read the book, and let me tell you something. Yeah, not impressed. I'm not a big fan of what Hickman's been doing with the X-Men, and he's destroyed tension in comics. This is all about trying to save Storm's life, but even as Emma Frost points out at the beginning, why don't you just suicide yourself and then come back? No more virus, boom, everything's fine. Exactly! The whole point of this is just, it just doesn't mean anything, because ultimately, if she does die, she comes back. Even in the middle, saying, it's not whether you die or not, it's how you live your life. Yeah, exactly, but that matters because there's an ending to it. If there's no ending, then it doesn't matter. It's a useless book. The 2-star books are just merely bad. Maybe they could have been horrible, but they have that little saving grace. Have you ever praised a book so much that when you get a really bad issue, you feel embarrassed? That's this one. Ice Cream Man, the Quarantine Comic Special. This is just, it's an anthology book, so it's a hodgepodge. It's a mix, and usually you get some good, some bad, but this is a whole bunch of comic book creators really trying to out-weird each other. And what ends up happening is instead of getting these weird and strange tales, it ends up having a tone that is just completely monotonous. Add to that the obvious leftist politics, it really is just a mess. I wish this book was better. I want to tell you this book would be good. Dear Becky, The Boys, #4. So this is a bunch of be careful what you wish for. Like, I enjoyed the first half, which is The Boys. It's like any other comic. You know, bloody, Kimiko jumps through a guy. And then the last half is Butcher talking to his girlfriend, which I'm like, hey, there should be more character moments. Let's get to know these people. Holy Toledo, but I didn't mean like 15 pages worth of nothing but dialogue. Let's, pick it up. Let's put a little action into it. At the very least, you can make the dialogue interesting. Thor #6, right? Yeah, the Herald of None. I'm not liking what they're doing with Galactus. I'm sorry, but he's supposed to be more than just a creature, and it seems like that's what this new crop of writers is treating him like. In the Trial of Galactus, one of the greatest stories Marvel's ever written, I don't think any of the people, I don't even think Donny Cates read that. I don't know, it's not good. I'm not enjoying this at all. This was one of those last bastions of hope and glory for Marvel Comics, and it's been turning me off with every issue. The 3-star books, they're average. Maybe I liked them, but just not enough to recommend them, or they just didn't resonate with me one way or the other. So a big old dome forms over a city, and this group of Amazons who broke away from Themyscira calls in Wonder Woman to help. And she goes in, discovers it's these witches who basically are kind of like Queen of Lies. And so it's, truth versus lie and everything. It's okay. It's not bad. I don't know if it was worth the extra money, but it's better than the regular series. Man, I wish they would get a good writer on Wonder Woman. This is just, So I read Iron Man #1. Once again, I got it because the Alex Ross cover. And it was okay. There wasn't much to it. Tony Stark is giving up the Iron Man suit and not technology, although he does drive a car. And I'm thinking, wow, haven't we been through here? I mean, how many midlife crises is Tony going to go through? Seriously. I don't know. I wanted more out of the book. I didn't get it. I know some people liked it, so maybe you should give it a try and figure it out on your own. But for me, it was complete flatline. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. But hey, there were words and pictures. And as you can tell by this picture right here, the pictures weren't bad. It's interesting to watch the pieces fall in Injustice Year Zero. This is issue number 5, where basically we're getting the story of what happened in the Golden Age with the guy that had this amulet that the Joker is after, taking over the Justice Society, including John D. Thunder mainly. And it's a really interesting story, but what really makes it interesting is the first person back is Green Lantern, to which the Joker gets a hold of. It's a fun series so far. Batman number 98, yeah, I'm a little bit behind. Deal with it. So anyway, this is Harley Quinn fighting Punchline while Batman is still recovering from the fear toxin that she shot him with. I do remember at one point in time, Batman had some ways of dealing with the fear toxin. Of course, it's mixed with Joker venom, so it's a little bit off. It's okay. I'm glad we got to see Harley get a little payback. But in all honesty, I'm not a huge fan of Punchline. I think she's a throwaway villain that I have said before, and I'll say it again, I believe needs to die at the end of Joker War. The Flash number 761 is a good issue, and it really elevates the story. Everything is just absolutely peachy keen. I was reading this, and then, like I said, I like it. You know, the big problem, of course, is the fact that they bring all these villains back that would have been a whole series or trade paperback worth of needing to deal with them, and they deal with them in a few panels. But what really gets me is anybody else getting tired of the whole Reverse Flash thing? And the 4-star books are good, and I am happy to recommend them to you. The Flash number 760, so we're seeing a bit of a battle between the Reverse Flash and Barry Allen's body and the Flash family. It's not so much the cuddle and fear that we're seeing on the cover. As a matter of fact, I love this shot of Jay Garrick and the Reverse Flash fighting. Of course, he knows. He's thinking, yeah, Jay, you're kind of slow compared to me, but in the end, this is just one hell of an exciting book. This story has been so freaking cool. All right, finally, after a whole bunch of woohoo, we're going to fight Raish. They do fight Raish. We get the whole confrontation between Ra's al Ghul and Black Lightning. We get Batman apologizing to everybody and saying, hey, look, you know, maybe I'm holding you guys back, which, can we stop having Batman apologize? Can we just bring him back to being a badass that he's supposed to be? It's a good book. It's a fun book. That's just one little bit of... that's the one flaw I don't like about it. Otherwise, yeah, check it out. Black Lightning and the Outsiders. Batman and the Outsiders here. It's a pretty good title from start to finish. Dan O'Bannon's Alien original script is kind of a funhouse mirror of something we're very familiar of. This leads us all the way up to the point where we see him with the guy with a face hugger on his face. They cut the face hugger and it bleeds acid onto the floor. That would be the scene in the movie that we lead up to now, but it's told in such a different way that it truly is a different experience. I got to tell you, it's not a bad book at all. If you're interested in the Alien franchise, I think you'll do yourself a favor by getting this. Deceased Hope at the World's End, number 9. I like this. So we have a fourth string villain in Pied Piper becoming one of the most important people in the DC universe because his fluting can actually lead the zombies to certain places that they want them to. It's a clever way of using a character that not a lot of people remember these days. The Green Hornet, number 2. It's more of them dealing with this alien. And basically, they hear the alien story and find out that, the two of them want the same thing. I forgot to turn off my television for this, sorry. And they kind of even say, hey, we should team up, but the alien's having none of that. Now, I was talking to the RDV last time, and he's like, oh, wow, I just can't take all the green. I kind of dig it. It is like watching a sci-fi movie on an old black and white. So I think that's what they were going for. So it works for me. Catwoman 25 brings Catwoman back into the Joker War in a big way, where her, Riddler, and the Penguin are trying to get the money back from the underbroker. And, of course, she's got a deal going on with Penguin and the Riddler that she's going to get the villain's money back as well. Good book. I don't know what this bit about dancing around with the tiger is. They're trying to be poetic. In all honesty, it just interrupts the story that we're actually interested in. And that's actually a lot of fun. Of course, I'm talking about the main crux of the story, not the dancing around with the tiger bit. That's just there. And sepia-toned. Deceased, Dead Planet number 3. Man, I gotta tell you, I've done nothing but praise this series from the very first time I picked up a Deceased comic. It is such an incredible series. It really is just a lot of fun. This time we're dealing with zombie Plastic Man. I mean, that's what he looks like right here. And it's just pure awesomeness. Of course, we've got the magicians, what we thought died at the end of number 2, working their magic and such. And they come up with an excellent idea of somebody to help out. And we find out that spoiler, Mr. Miracle's still alive. This is just such a great book. Red Hood 48. Okay, so I don't know how to approach this. Look, he goes to the orphanage he grew up with. He actually places bombs around everything, wanting to blow the place up, and ends up fighting Punchline and her goons. And it looks like he's got everything in order and he's going to win when all of a sudden Nightwing jumps in his Dickie Boy outfit and beats the teetotal hell out of him. And it works. This is one of the best chapters of the Joker War. And remember, I've been saying the Joker War feels disjointed, like it's not a great story all in one, but the individual issues are good. I have a feeling if they ever release a compendium that puts these things in reading order, it's going to be an excellent story. As it is, this is just an excellent chapter. Hawkman 27 is just badass because it's got the Hawks and the JSA together again. It is a fun story. I've been praising Hawkman since the beginning. No wonder they're canceling it. But it's it's just one to pick up. Not just this issue, which you would be doing yourself a favor, but the entire series. This one, like I said, we have the JSA, the Hawks, and they're questioning, why they actually chose this as the life they wanted to live in. Like, from now on, they're going to die, but this is the era. So it's all about why they wanted to live in the golden age of the DC universe. Nightwing number 74, man, it is so satisfying. We finally get to see Nightwing beat the hell out of all the other Robins. And, sure, it means we're kind of cheering on the bad guy. But haven't we heard this, I'm the best Robin, you're the best Robin crap enough that, it just got settled. Because we were told he was slower because he's mind-controlled in other books. And here he is just whipping all sorts of butt. I like this book, man. Joker, Harley, Criminal Insanity number 5. I gotta tell you, this book just keeps getting better, man. This time around, Harley Quinn opens the door and boom, there's the Joker right in her apartment. Now, I know this, and I'll say this every time. This book gets flack for the pretty Joker, but this is an intense scene. This is, although there is a little bit of stupidity in it where Harley Quinn just naturally sits down, lets herself be tied up by the Joker. I'm like, no. You're at a distance. You have a gun. Keep that distance and keep the gun on him would be my take. But by doing that, she gets him to open up a little bit more. So maybe I'm wrong in this. But anyway, really good story. So there you go, gang. That's Countdown. Yeah, I'm a little bit behind. The next one is going to catch me up. And then by next week, I should be on the whole scoring as I used to do. So, yeah, we got that going on. Also, let me know, what did you think about the Countdown? Were there any books that you were like, hey, I haven't picked that up, but from here on in, I think I will? Or something where you're like, ooh, I was going to put that up, but now what I hear you saying, maybe not. Or what did I get too high? What did I get too low? Let me know in the comments below. Please consider putting on one of the videos that are popping up around now. And click like, share, subscribe, ring the notification bell. You know the drill. If you'd like to support the channel, go on over to Patreon or Ko-Fi. Links in the description below. Drop $1 in the till. Helps keep the lights on. Helps keep making videos for you. Thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.